What's up, everybody?
What's up? What's up?
We are back. It's 2025.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year's, New Year, New You. And you know what this is. It's another episode of
FIRE15.
Yes, I'm Doc.
I'm PJ.
The glorious.
Oh,
the
God.
beautiful.
Didn't we leave that in 24?
I got more adjectives now,
Oh,
girl.
Jesus.
The illustrious PJ. Girl, you fine. You look just as fine in 2025 as you did in 2020.
Bless
Matter of fact,
the Lord.
you look finer.
Bless the Lord. Let's get on with the program.
You fine like wine. You just get better and better with time. Ooh. Anyway, y'all, we are back. It's glad to be here. And we got some good stuff playing for you this
super
year.
excited.
And we got to kick the year off with a doozy.
Yes, and I just want to say thank you for those who
That's right.
faithfully followed and kept track of recordings and made sure that you could not only watch but share.
That's right. That's
with
right.
other people.
That's right.
And we were excited about 2024, but 2025 is going to be gooder and gooder.
That's right. We get into it. So today we're going to talk about, we're going to have a little fun, but we're going to talk
I need
about.
an organ.
Maybe, yeah. We might need to put
Not
that
that I
in
know
the
how to
background.
play anything. It's fine.
But we're going to talk about some church hurt today. And
Church
Church hurt. Yeah, we're going to talk about a little church hurt today. Because if you don't know by now, we are pastors.
Yes, we are.
And, you know, we love people.
Yes, we
and
do.
we love Jesus. And bringing the two together, what a wonderful combination.
It's cool.
And we feel
It's a weighty responsibility.
It is.
But it's rewarding.
That's right. And we feel like our life's work as pastors is to continually connect people with Jesus.
That's right.
And not only get them to heaven, but have them be their best selves while they're here on earth.
Yes.
Because if the goal was heaven,
that's right. There
we'd be
wouldn't
dead as soon as we get saved.
Facts.
So, but we're not dead. We're still in the land of the living. So,
and we got work to do.
Yeah, and you owe it to yourself to be the best version of yourself because somebody's salvation is on the other side of your obedience. So
And is.
You got to be you because everybody else is taken.
Yeah.
So, church hurt.
Church hurt.
Yeah, people ain't coming to church like they usually do.
I agree. And I think some of us have heard conversations about the pandemic and how that affected church attendance. And it was terrible. Like it was horrendous. We lost people that we loved and it was a scary time. And I think that people just kind of pull back from public settings. However, people have integrated back to life to do other public settings. But I feel like the church public setting is still suffering in attendance post-COVID. And so not saying any particular reason is connected to COVID, but I've heard that is what I want to say.
But let's talk about this issue.
But the hurt part.
Folks being hurt.
Let's talk about the hurt part.
In a church house.
Because let me ask you this.
Yep.
Have you ever experienced church hurt?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I have experienced church hurt. And
talk to us about your church hurt experience.
you want me to drop some names, my boy?
No.
Okay.
We are not dropping names.
Oh, I thought it
The
was
Lord is
2025.
not.
I thought we was going to turn it up in 2025.
And we left that in 24.
Okay,
The hurt as well.
All right,
Pastor,
all right.
doctor.
Woo! Okay, that's right.
So, no, but for real,
yes,
like what,
you know, I think the part about church hurt for me, which I think a lot of people can identify.
Sure, I know tons of people.
Is a miss in the expectations versus the reality. So, you know, my church hurt experiences, I expected the people, especially in leadership, to respond a certain type of way.
Yes.
And I'm the type of person where I try to go above and beyond to make other people comfortable.
You do.
You know what I mean? And
you're so kind.
Thank you. You so fine. Anyway, I'm the type of person trying to go above and beyond to make people comfortable. And my church hurt experiences, you know, the level of relationship that was there, when it was time to make a decision, I felt like it was like nothing was there. It was like I'm somebody that you don't even know.
There wasn't reciprocal.
It wasn't reciprocated at all.
Yeah.
And for me, that hurt because I was like, take Jesus out of the picture. I was like I thought we were close.
Yeah.
You know, I thought we were this.
Forget the church piece.
Right.
Yeah.
But my mindset was never, I'm not going to another church now. That was not my mindset. My mindset was, I'm just not going to fool with you no more.
Not
but,
throwing away children of God.
You know, we all His creation, boy, and all His children. Anyway, that's true. It's in the Bible.
I understand, but I don't think that person's not God's
No,
child.
I don't think that person's not God's creation, children. But I think sometimes people combine the two because, sometimes the only version of Jesus that people see are those that are there in the church.
And the leaders and that type of thing, yes. No, I 100% agree. And I think that in your church hurt experience, so how did you, number one, not tie the two together? Like, I'm done with you and church.
Yeah.
Why were you just done with them? Or why did you not, or how did you not allow that experience to jade you so much that you were done with church altogether?
Because I know...
because
church,
some people do.
Some people do.
And feel justified in that.
Sometimes, that's so real.
Yeah.
It's so real.
They're so hurt. They can't separate the two. They don't ever trust church leaders.
Right.
Nothing looking like a church again.
Right. And I think that's fair, and I think that's real because, that there's real emotion and pain behind that hurt.
Yeah.
But for me, it was like, I know Jesus didn't do that.
Right.
You know what I mean? I know that even the most saved and sanctified people are still human, and I think we have to make room for that. To be honest, I think we have to make room for and sometimes, because you do hold people to a higher standard because of they proclaim and profess, Jesus, but sometimes they, sometimes they miss it, and
so then, what I hear is grace.
Lots of it.
What I hear is forgiveness.
Yes.
And what I also hear is maturity.
Yes. And I can't say that in all of my experiences being hurt that I was mature.
Yeah.
I can't say that.
I think you matured through it. Like, I think you made a decision not to stay stuck, not to stay hurt, not continue to go through life playing hurt with church or being the victim.
That's true.
Because people victimize themselves in situations like that, which we don't get to decide how a person operates through that hurt, but I think we owe it to ourselves to do something with that.
Right.
Because when we get to heaven and we get to the gate, we don't get to say, well, God, I know there were gifts and talents on the inside of me, and I know I really wasn't underneath leadership. What it was I went to that church, God, and the people hurt me, and so I never trusted church people again, so I was never developed or loved or worked in any kind of local ministry because I got hurt. And so sorry, but it was their fault. Yeah. Like, that's not going to work.
Yeah. But I also think that the people on inside the building, they need to not be showing out.
I don't disagree.
I
don't disagree.
Because I do think there is some things that be hurting people, and I think just people that just don't understand.
Yeah.
But
I think what you said, like, people are human, so that doesn't make that doesn't justify you treating people not well or you leading. But I think what happens is, and even in my church hurt experience, I had this expectation of what life and behavior and maturity look like from a pastoral perspective, and it didn't happen, and my heart was broken because I'm like, I trusted you, like, I loved you, I looked up to you, and you hurt me, and I had a decision to make, and it took me a while to get past that because of that role and that honor and that respect and that reverence. I was like, man, is everybody in this role jaded in some way? And it made me resistant, but I knew that I loved God and the idea of what I knew I was called to more than the experience. And so I had to make a decision. Okay, do I love God more and trust that I can grow past this and believe that he can still use me in different ways? Or do I let this experience shut down everything of what, because church is God's idea. Like the church is his bride, is his idea. And there are people leading that need extra doses of Jesus. Yeah. As we all do.
Yes.
But in that, like, it's like, okay, God, give me wisdom about how to navigate the next step, but I can't quit you altogether on Sundays because I believe church is your idea.
Right. And I think church is God's idea. I think sometimes how we do church may not be always his idea.
100% agree.
And I think
1,000%.
And I think that as we get back to the core of what the church really is,
100,000%.
I think there will be a healthy communication and dialogue. For all these things. That doesn't mean that, instances are going to happen where there may be disagreements or time for discussion or maybe even hurt. It could be accidental. Hopefully it's not intentional. But every opportunity when things like that happen, it's an opportunity to grow.
It is. If you allow it to be.
And every opportunity to grow shouldn't elicit the same response every time.
Unless you're not dealing with the hurt.
That's true. For instance, if the next time you experience a church hurt, if you have the same reaction, which is to go off and leave, then that isn't a sign of maturity.
Right.
You know, that's technically a sign of immaturity.
Yeah.
But, you know, I do think that, you know, there's some that's why you have to pray and just be led by the Holy Spirit about
and have discernment.
How to navigate that hurt, because, you know, Jesus doesn't want us walking around wounded.
He doesn't. But he also doesn't want us walking around non-connected to community and church.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
So I think it just boils down to, like, I wish I could say, oh, well, here's a recipe to where you'll never experience church hurt again in your life.
That won't happen.
Here's a recipe to where perfect church, perfect leaders, this is the address, right?
Yeah.
Even as pastors, we are. God forbid we would hope to heaven that we would never experience that, because it never would come out of intention.
Right.
But we are humans.
Yes.
And we're doing the best that we can to honor God and do what he says. And that's a lot of pressure.
Right. Yeah.
Like, people ain't talking about the amount of pressure that pastors are under to make sure. It's hard, guys. It's rough out here in the sweat. But when you say yes, you say yes to all that comes, and that doesn't make excuses for you being like, well, you know, I'm the pastor. No. And some people are just wrong. You may, I think, in any relationship, I'm your wife. You've hurt me. You're my husband. I've hurt you. But you make a decision to have a conversation and be mature. I don't just leave every time I get hurt. We would not be together. Like, I would have peaced out, I don't know, the first month in. Because I don't know.
First month?
I mean, maybe
Wait
not.
a minute now.
But my point is, hurt happens in relationships. But do we have the maturity to push past, like, unless it's this brutal abuse of something like demonic or satanic? Like, if a person, sometimes it's misunderstandings.
Right.
Sometimes it's just, and sometimes it's your time to lead too.
Right.
You know
Sometimes it is.
So, I mean, there's no recipe of safety inside of this thing called life, but getting connected with a church where they're God-fearing, they're Holy Spirit-led, and doggone it, they're doing everything they can to live lives of integrity.
And they teach the Bible.
And teach the Bible. Please teach the Bible.
Please teach the Bible.
Not your version of the Bible.
Yeah, you know, because I think some people stop coming to church, you know, because they can't conceptualize what's being taught. You know, if you get some, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say it.
Dun, dun, dun,
when you come into church, you shouldn't have to leave your brain in the car. You shouldn't have to leave your brain in the car when you come inside the doors.
Wait, why would a person?
Because some of the stuff that come out of people's mouths
just be saying stuff.
They don't make sense. Like, why should I have to turn around 17 times and touch my toes to get a blessing from the Lord?
People do be doing the most. I mean, but it goes back to what you said about the whole, like, the way we do church. Like, God, the church is out there, but the way we do. People be doing a lot.
Yes.
People be doing a lot.
But we also can't be, you know, consumerism Christians that think that church is there just to serve us.
Facts. And how are you serving? How are you giving?
Right.
And
so,
but folk don't want to talk about that though. They want to come get fat on that word and then scroll Instagram and get them some Instagram words, get them some YouTube words, and come back again on Sunday and get another word from you. But they ain't doing nothing through the week to pour out and make an impact into the kingdom.
You know, because I think that inevitably that things will happen, and you may be hurt. You know, whether it's a church or whatever, something like that. But if this is you in 2025,
come on,
and you have been hurt, I want you to hear me and hear me well. Don't quit God because people mess up sometimes. You know, don't quit God because people miss the mark. I like to think that, you know, God doesn't give up on us as quickly as sometimes we give up on Him. You know, so I think we give up on God pretty quick sometimes, and He don't give up on us that easily.
Thanks.
And I would say, you know, if you find yourself not in the church, you don't have to come to this one.
But it's a pretty cool one.
It's a pretty dope one. But
the pastors are cool, I think.
I think the pastors are cool. But I think if you aren't in church anywhere, try again. Yes. And I'm not saying you have to try the one that hurt you. And sometimes a lot of people are like, you know, if I'm hurt, we got to have a conversation. Sometimes you don't have to have a conversation when you hurt. When you forgive, you don't necessarily have to have a conversation.
Because understand, too, that the people who hurt you don't have the capacity to heal you. So if you go back looking for healing and closure and you don't get it, you just continue to walk around with this open wound of rejection and hurt and bitterness.
So if that's you, get plugged in somewhere.
Try
again. There's nobody like the body of a local church.
It's just, it's giving. Like,
Yes.
when you find a body that you can get connected to,
Right.
people care about you. Like, for example, we had some people out sick this week,
Right.
and the members reached out, went to the hospital.
Yeah.
Like, that's life.
That's right.
Like, you don't have to do life alone.
That's right.
And even doing online church, that's cool and convenient, but you can, not being connected, you're
Right.
missing a piece.
Yeah.
God created us to do life together.
That's right.
He didn't leave Adam alone. He needed Eve. Like, he created us to value and operate inside a
Yes, to
community.
do
So
life together.
it's a whole thing.
Right. It's a thing out here. And as you are looking for those places, you know, it's supposed to feel safe. And if it challenges you, that's okay.
That is okay.
That is okay.
Long as it lines up with the word.
As long as it lines up with the
Yeah.
word, it is okay. So, you know, we want you to be happy and healthy and whole
And blessed,
in 2025
thriving.
and beyond. You know, so, and we have found that having a church to be plugged into, there's nothing like it.
Nope.
And then have reasonable expectations as well.
Yeah.
If you go to a church and it's got 30,000 people, don't expect the pastors to know your name.
Ain't it?
Like, come on, like it's 30,000 people.
They ask you, was I a visitor? And I'm a member.
I've been coming
Ooh.
here for 3 months.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's hard.
But I have to drop this because we're at
Yes.
15 minutes.
15 already.
I have to drop this. I think that, and I don't mean to toot our own horns by any means,
Don't
but
toot it.
we really dug in to do the work for healing because we have experienced a church hurt to the depth in which we did. It was pretty deep, pretty deep church hurt we experienced.
Yeah.
Not only did we not quit God, but we didn't quit the idea of ministry, and now
Right.
the Lord has blessed us in order to lead a ministry.
Right.
And so I think that just speaks to not who we are, but us willing to say, you know what, this is so painful.
Right.
There were tears. There
There
was
is.
hurt. There was
Anger.
I mean, there was all the emotions
all
that we
the
experienced, but
emotions,
we
yeah.
didn't let that stop us from walking out to what God has called us to do.
Right.
And I believe the same thing for you. Don't let people who are just humans navigating life. It doesn't excuse them. It doesn't justify them, but
Right.
it is what it is. But you're not going to stop me from what God has for me.
Yeah.
Because what God has for me, it is for me. So yeah, anyways.
So let that kick you off in 2025.
Yeah.
Because yes, this is 15 minutes.
It
We
is.
hit our mark,
That's
but at
it.
the same time, you know, get plugged in somewhere because we
This
love
is your
you.
sign. You be looking for a
Yes,
sign?
you be
Should I go
looking
back
for
to
a sign.
church?
Should I go back to church? I tried
Here's
again.
your sign.
Here's your sign.
Hashtag sign.
Listen, because God loves you
Yes, he does.
and He wants the best for you,
Yes.
but you got to go get it.
Yep.
You gotta
Go
go get it.
get it. Go. Okay, I'm done. Bye, you guys. Until next time.